It's 6:17 and new on GMET. Nearly 500,000 Texans have Alzheimer's, and that number is expected to grow in the coming decades. That's according to some new state data. And that's also why one East Texas town is working to bring a new kind of care for people living with memory loss. GMET's Lorena Rivas is here now with more on how they are making it all possible. Lorena?
Lane, the city of Quitman is developing a new facility to give more independence to people living with dementia and Alzheimer's. This facility will be located about an hour away from Tyler. It will be right next to UT Health in Quitman on 29 acres of property owned by the Wood County Central Hospital District. I spoke to the city's mayor on how this facility will also bring opportunities to East Texas.
This is bigger than Quitman. It's bigger than Wood County.
Quitman's Mayor Randy Dunn's fight against dementia is personal after his mother battled with the disease and died in 2012.
Really wasn't a place for my dad to go to sit down and get a little bit of assistance saying, what can I expect next?
That's why he's now part of the Wood County Healthcare Foundation, a nonprofit working to establish a new kind of care for East Texans living with dementia and Alzheimer's.
It's a disability. You create an environment that they can function in.
The group is working to build the Memory Health Life Center in Quitman. The 54-bed hospital will provide more independence for people living with dementia.
We want these folks to have green space. We want them to have light. We want them to see community.
Patients will also have a range of activities they can participate in, including gardening, exercise, and spending time with animals.
Giving purpose to people's lives is a key element.
The facility will also offer training to medical professionals and students alike. That's according to Daryl Slaybach, the secretary of the nonprofit.
This is a totally different concept because it's a training center. It's a massive training center for people to come in from all walks of life.
Early estimates show it will cost at least $60 million for this project to become a reality. The federal government has awarded Quitman $6 million, but they need the state to match the funds.
That fund is restricted to building processes.
The Wood County Healthcare Foundation has raised $1 million from the community. Another reason why Mayor Dunn knows East Texans are needing a facility like this one.
But the way this disease is growing, it will happen, and we would love to be able to have this, to be able to teach and give you an idea of what happens next.
Right now, the Wood County Healthcare Foundation will continue to find other ways to fund additional expenses of the facility. They will also have to wait until next year to see if the Texas legislature will approve matching funds. Lane, back to you.
I know you'll continue following this for us, Lorena. Thanks. If you want to learn more about this facility or can help out, scan the QR code on the screen right now and head to kltv.com or ktre.com to find the link inside the big red box.